This is Jason Dupree,
And Anna Landry.
and you are listening to OCR Talk, episode 51. If we're keeping track of
Something like that.
episodes, well, we've broken it up now because we've got episodes that have come out from like the OCR report crowd. So now it's episode 51
Right.
of OCR Talk, but actually season
Right.
3, episode 7 of all of this, whatever.
All of this.
So, welcome to the live broadcast of our podcast, which we will obviously re air as a podcast. And I've got a quiet mouse. I'm clicking away as usual right now, and you don't even hear it because it's quiet. But I do have our. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. Got
Yay.
our names in there. Got to have the titles and tags, and got to look professional that way. As we said, I'm Jason Duber. I'm here in Texas. Anna, you're still in Colorado.
Yep, still in Colorado.
And y'all had
It's just
did
so
y'all
terrible here.
did
No,
y'all
I'm
get
kidding.
snow or recently, or is that just in the Northeast?
No, that was in the Northeast. The last time we got snow was, I want to say, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3
And I
weeks ago. That's
mean,
that's not bad
it's
though.
like a it's like a balmy 44 degrees right now.
Really?
But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably not supposed to get up to the 70s until like later on this week.
Oh
But
man. We in
yeah.
Texas have been dealing with some of the best weather we can probably ever experience because it's either chilly and cold or it's just blazing hot. So right now we are in that middle ground where it's like
Yeah.
in the morning it might be 50 at the low, but in the
Yeah.
afternoon it could easily be like today it's 80. But it's like a nice 80. It's not even hot. It's
It's
just
like a cool lady.
yeah. So
Yeah.
right now it's like go run in the morning while it's gorgeous
Right.
and don't deal with that afternoon heat. So I've been trying to get out, make sure like tomorrow morning, make sure I get up early, get in the morning run, and beat the heat until it gets to the point where in the summer in Texas, it's
Yeah.
the morning can be 75 at 5
Right.
a.m.
Yeah. And it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter the longer you wait.
and until all the grass dies
Until all the grass
and we
dies.
have second
Yeah.
winter as I like to call it.
Second winter. Yeah, well, this cool weather can stick around for as long as it wants to, as far as I'm concerned, because whenever the last couple weeks, it was like really starting to get warmer and like up there in the 70s. So the rattlesnakes have been coming out.
Oh man.
So
So you've seen
yeah, just
some?
yeah, actually yesterday, whenever I went on a hike with my daughter up to the trail, we were going to our trail that leads up to the trailhead, and there was a huge freaking I wasn't close enough, but I'm almost positive it was just a bull snake. But still, like I just
All right, well,
I can't even.
I'm not familiar with bull snakes. What's the difference between them and
They're not rattlesnakes.
but they look
they,
similar?
they um I don't know. All snakes look similar to me. I just try and avoid them.
All right. Oh, Anna's hanging up on me. This happened once before. There you go. You're good now. Yeah. So you weren't sure after you saw the snake, or you like?
Well, I took a picture of it and I didn't
Okay.
see a rattler on the end of its tail. So that's how I know it at
Ah,
least maybe wasn't a rattlesnake.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's gotta
Yeah.
at least have that, right? Can
Right.
they get cut off like and keep living? Is that a thing
I
for
don't know.
rattlesnakes?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Like, what if it was like you cut off their tail and they die? Like that's their weakness, not having their rattler. But I don't. That's
Well,
probably not.
then you'd have to get close enough to cut off their rattler. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, instead of having to cut off the head, if you
Right.
could just do the tail, that would be funny. But I don't. That's stupid. Um, we are apart as we've been doing this from the beginning, but in
Yes.
COVID times, this is pretty normal doing this through, honestly, all this quarantine stuff has helped me to just like look through all the different platforms that which one fits best for what we're doing if we want to have a multi-person call. And
Yeah.
there's always been Skype. There's
Hmm.
Zoom, of course, got huge whenever this started happening. There's Google Meet has its thing now. Skype
Hmm.
Meet is now a part of Skype where you don't actually have to sign in, so it's very similar to Zoom. And then Google Hangouts, and then I know I've like found out about 5 other ones. I mean, yeah, I actually recently learned about a thing called House Party. It's an app where
Oh yeah.
you, if you sign in, it's just like you're there in the house. And
Hmm.
if you load up the app, then you're there. And if somebody
Hmm.
else logs in, they can just join you right away. If you got it open, they can just join you, I think, unless you lock their room.
Hmm.
But it's more like you could have a chat party going on and people can see that and just join in without asking or without knowing the code or whatever, which is kind of cool. It's like I'm at a friend's house and somebody just shows up. So you never know
Yeah.
out of your friends who might show up. It's pretty neat.
Hence the house party.
Yeah, and they got a couple of games
Oh,
in it too, like
hang
Draw Together and Heads Up. I don't know if you ever played that game where you hold the phone up on your head
yeah.
and it shows the word that the other person's supposed to guess. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an old game. I
Yeah,
remember having that on my phone.
yeah, but they got it in that app, so that's
That's
pretty
pretty
neat.
cool.
So I say that to mention why I'm sitting with the sunset at my back. I'm really not outside. I honestly look for a good like Spartan race picture to be like I'm at the race. Where are y'all at? Um, but really, I'll show. Skype is the platform of choice that we've been using for this, simply because it makes it easy for me to pull the video into uh, OBS. It's, whoa, you flickered for a second there.
Yeah,
Rather
sorry.
than some of the other programs. But just to show, I got,
Green screen.
I got this giant. It folds up into a big circle, and it pops it like it's one of those things where if you let it go too fast, it'll like pop you in the face.
like
But
one of those like one of those sun shields that you just
yeah,
Ah!
yeah, for real, it really does. So I'm putting that behind me, and it helps. Like it Skype the program works pretty good. Like you can still do blur and stuff like that. We've done that before, but
Yeah.
it's even better with a green screen behind you. So that's what I'm trying, and that's what I got going on here.
Nice.
This,
And I
you
got
reckon you
super
recognize? Oh, wrong side. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Do you recognize that city?
Is that what is that? I can barely tell. Is
Yeah,
that Dallas?
yeah, it is. You
Is that the Dallas
you
skyline?
really need to see a little bit more. I feel like a weatherman now. You really need to see a little bit further that way, so you can see the ball that kind of gives it
Yeah.
away. But yeah, it is. It's that's Dallas. That's
Yeah, I can yeah, as soon as I saw the reunion tower, that was the giveaway.
which one? Which one's Reunion Tower?
That's the ball,
Oh,
right?
right. Do you see it? I
Yeah.
don't see it. It's further out.
It's like behind your shoulder there.
No, it's not on this side.
No?
No, it's actually it's
It's
on.
not.
Now my hand's disappearing. It's on that side. It's further out of the picture here. I should have pushed it, but the sun is too nice looking. I couldn't take it out. Look at that.
Yeah.
So this
That's a pretty sweet picture.
we usually start off talking about what we've been up to. This past weekend, I started. This past weekend, we went on a run, and we went to the levee near Dallas, and there's the Trinity River runs from Dallas all the way to Fort Worth, and so I've run around the Trinity near Fort Worth, but I've never done it near Dallas. And so we went and started kind of like away from Dallas so we can run into the sunset. And as you can see, the picture that I got here,
Nice.
and it was fantastic. The view was gorgeous. We had the city skyline in our eyesight the entire time. The sun was coming up. It was really beautiful. And the very first interesting bridge that you come to, because there's a couple of bridges that are really pretty. The first one you come to, um, before we got to it, I don't know if you have seen this. You tell me. The
Mm.
first bridge is like they had a bridge there, which was just like a flat normal bridge, and
Yeah.
then they made a big beautiful bridge next to it, but they repurposed that bridge for like a public space. Have you seen that
Oh
one?
yeah, is that Clyde Warren Park?
Maybe. That sounds
Maybe.
right. You
I
haven't been
want
here
to
for
say my
years, and
mom.
you know better
I
than me.
know. I want to say my mom worked on that on those roads on
What do
that
you?
project.
How do you mean? What does she do?
She's been a civil engineer in Dallas for ever.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so she's designed most of the roads in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. She designed like the first light rail
What?
system. Yeah, she was on the inaugural ride of the light rail system
That's
in
awesome.
Dallas. So like she has like a little glass plaque or whatever from like that has like the very first tickets that they would give out for the light rail. So yeah,
What
she was on that project.
what does she do for that? What was her role?
She was just a well, so she doesn't have the degree technically for a project manager, but she basically like ran a lot of the projects.
Okay, so she's not doing CAD,
Yeah.
which is what interests
Yeah.
me. But oh,
Yeah.
she was?
Yeah, she works with yeah. Yeah.
What? Man, I need to
Yeah, she
talk to your
works with
mom. Wait, she was at that race. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
I could have totally chatted with her about that.
That's so funny.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right, next time you come down here, I'm coming over.
Totally. She'll cook you some like good Filipino food and everything too.
That's awesome. She just came up to visit you guys, right?
No, that was Lauren's
Oh,
mom.
okay, so
She came from Louisiana to visit. Yeah.
so your mom didn't.
But yeah, my mom was up here in November whenever we went to WTM. She was up here staying with the kids.
Ah,
So
good
yeah,
play there.
right.
All right, very cool.
Yeah, so she's been working with CAD forever.
That's cool. I
Since
definitely
since
want to talk to her about all that. So I've been, as I'm showing in this picture, I've been running. I've been upping my mileage. My leg still has an issue, but as I saw in at Worlds last year, when I run on it, it just doesn't hurt. So it's a
nice.
I want to get a second opinion. See, if I keep running on it, will it get worse, or can I do something to make it better? Like what should I do
Hmm.
from here? Because I don't feel good about my previous doctor who thought it was a lesion. Went to MRI. He said it was a stress fracture, and all he said was stop running, which is like that's not an answer. A, a, a that's a workaround, as we say in the CAD
Yeah.
industry. Anyway, so I have been running, and I've been having good days and bad days, but my mileage, like I kind of got back into it after a 2 month hiatus, and have
Yeah.
worked up from 8 miles, 10 miles, 12, 15. And this last weekend, I was like, maybe I should back off a little bit. And then we went and did this gorgeous run and had an amazing time. And ended up being 15 and a half miles. And I felt
Nice.
fantastic. I felt like if this was a 30-mile run today, like a race, I would have been fine. I would have been able to handle it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what have you been up to?
Oh man. So I had done that David Goggins challenge
Yep.
last month, and which ended up being one of my biggest months. Ended up finishing like a little over 113 miles last month.
Oh, wow.
And then so like ever since then I've just been like, if I run, I run. I've been like so not consistent with it, unfortunately. And then of course I guess I thought it was a really great idea to sign up for that great virtual race across Tennessee. So
Ah, the
so
famous Lazarus
um
race. Lazarus's?
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I figure like I'm not gonna be going to Tennessee to go compete in the Barkley Marathons anytime soon.
Sure.
I'm probably not gonna, get into any other of his races since like races right now aren't happening.
Right.
So I'm like, this is probably the only time I'm ever going to get any kind of race swag from Lazarus Lake. So I might as well sign up for it. So yeah,
So,
I'm probably about 20 or so miles behind where I should
well,
be.
that's not crazy hard to
Um,
make up, right?
yeah, no, it's not crazy hard to make up, but
What's the
like just the consistency part
Okay,
is
so
I really need to like hit the,
all right,
you
so
know,
let's back up a
get
second.
that part down. Yeah.
Lazarus, Laz, as they say. What's
Yeah.
his real name? I know this. I'm blanking.
I can't remember.
Crap, I gotta look it up. Um,
Yeah, I can't remember.
I have got the quiet mouse to keep the clicking out. Now I got some typing in the episode.
So,
Uh,
so Scott
all right. What?
quits giving you crap about
No, no,
your
no.
loud
He did.
mouse.
He didn't give me crap. To explain, I was on. I am a Spartan podcast. Very
Yeah.
pleased to have Scott interview me for his podcast. That was awesome. But he did mention when he likes this live streaming format, and he
Yeah.
just mentioned how when it goes to podcast, you can hear my mouse just clicking away because I'm doing like 30 different things that I'm trying to do behind the scenes, and I shouldn't be. And my mouse is very
Which
loud.
usually you are.
It's a bad news gaming mouse, so it's loud. But so I got another mouse that actually is good for when other people are in the house sleeping, and I can just keep playing games, uh, which is much better for this. But he did mention that, which is like I knew that already. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that. That was, I did that for a few episodes, and I really shouldn't have. God dang it! What is this guy's name? Somebody's gonna be like, oh, I know who he is already. Why didn't you know his name? I know it. It's not coming to me.
Yeah. I've
Um,
just always known him as Laz.
all right, screw it. We'll have to look at it later. Laz, if you don't know who Laz is, then obviously you don't know Barkley. But the guy that puts on the Barkley Marathon in Tennessee, in
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee,
Yep.
he has put on a virtual race which is run from one corner of Tennessee to the other, which
Yep.
is about 1,000 miles. So
Which
it's a
technically we started in Arkansas. So
what? Who?
yeah, like the southern
I thought it was
southwesternmost. It was the south. We're going from the southwestern tip or the southernmost tip of Tennessee up to the northern.
I
So we're going from
really?
southwest to northeast. Yeah, we're going like diagonally across
Well, I
Tennessee
thought it was the opposite. I thought it was northwest to southeast.
to
Is
south.
that not?
No, no, we're going
The
up.
long way.
Yeah, we're going up into the
Okay.
mountains of Tennessee.
All right. Huh. Weird.
Yeah. So, like on the little virtual map
It
where everybody
is
started, it was like
is that on their website?
It is not on their website. They use like what website do they use? Vacationwithoutacar.com or something
What?
like that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. They're still working
Now
out a
I'm
lot
extra
of the
confused.
kinks. Yeah, they're still working out a lot of the kinks because I don't think they expected like 16,000 people to sign up.
Yes. So where all this came from, what we're talking about. The
Right.
guy Laz who put on Barkley Marathon, he's put on this virtual race, which is a 4 month, I think,
Yeah.
4 month virtual race where basically you're just totaling your mileage for those 4 months to try and get
Mm-hmm.
the same mileage that it is from corner to corner in Tennessee, which is where
Mm-hmm.
he's from, right?
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
Barkley in his backyard or something? Like, does he own that land or
It's no, it's like
state park or something?
it's
Oh, you froze up. In the meantime, while you are coming back to us, we're gonna look and see.
yeah,
Oh,
it's up in
there
the
you are.
mountains.
It is, yeah. Okay. Now, uh, man, we are really. So I've got this is our episode is titled. I don't know if you noticed, but our episode is titled Quarantine Race
Quarantine.
Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really kind of jumping right in here to Quarantine Race Solutions because this is one of them. Like if you're looking for a goal to hit while you're in quarantine, this
Yeah.
is a good option. And the money that they're bringing in, I don't know if they had this in mind before they started, and it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like they did, but obviously they got plenty of money for it now. But
Yeah.
they have uh, are looking like they're gonna have pretty decent like track your mileage, but also like
Mm-hmm.
view how far you've made it across
Yeah.
that trek. Like
Mm-hmm.
I race 400 miles and I put that in and I can
Mm-hmm.
see on a map how far does that take me across Tennessee.
Yeah.
Or and maybe even like how far are my cohorts? Like I can look up somebody else, like a friend, how far have they made it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like they got some cool website stuff going on
Yeah.
that will make this really interesting, I think.
Yeah, every day it's something different with the whole tracking thing because like I said there's a lot of people that signed up for it. So so it's like a daily work in progress as far as like logging the miles, seeing where you're at and
Yeah.
things like that. So
Okay, so
um
looking at the actual dates, it did start on May 1st, which we're
yep.
now 11 days into, and it's going to end August 31st, and that's when
Yeah.
you'll have needed to have your 1,000 miles. Now,
Mhm.
two things.
1000K.
Oh, sorry, apologies.
1000 miles.
1,000K. Um, First thing, if you don't make the 1,000K, do you get your swag?
I don't know. I mean, you paid for the virtual
You
race.
signed
I
up. You
mean,
didn't read
I
it.
know. Well, I don't have that in my head that I'm not going to finish the mile.
If you get 900 kilometers, you get the swag, but you have to wear it in shame with a sign that
Yeah,
says, "I did not
exactly.
complete this."
I did not complete the virtual race across
is
Tennessee.
is
Well,
that in the
and they
terms of
also,
service?
interestingly enough, okay, so interestingly enough, there's a lot of people that run with their dogs, right? So
Yeah,
there were a lot of people that were also paying to sign up their dogs. So there is
separately.
a, yeah, separately. So there is now a dog division.
Oh, I see it on the website. Oh,
Yes.
hang on. All right, we're gonna show this on screen here because this is kind of awesome. Oh man. All right, give me just a second. You can keep talking if you want, but I'm gonna pull this
Yeah,
up.
no. So yeah, there's like all these people signing up their dogs, and I'm thinking, who signs up their dogs and registers their dog for a race? Like, who's gonna run 693 miles with their dog?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, you could do like 2 miles with your dog in the morning or whatever. So we'll see who wins the dog division at the end of
Is
this,
it?
I
I
guess.
mean, like the same thing. Is it like the dogs have to go 1,000 kilometers, or is
Right.
it if I
Just
shoot? There's, I mean, so what we're saying is that this race has been so evolving because of the amount of people that have signed up for it.
yeah.
Um, I, Honestly, if I realized that, I would have looked into the details behind the stuff because that's pretty interesting. All right, so I'm
I
gonna
just
bring
can't
up.
wait. I just can't wait to see like the shirts and the buckles. And I want to say that like he also did it so that like his vendors wouldn't go out of business as well, so that he
Yeah.
could like continue to give his vendors some business and help them throughout this whole pandemic situation. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
So
vendor wise, what do you mean? Like, who's those vendors?
like his t-shirts and the people that makes
Oh, okay.
his giveaway stuff, I guess.
Okay. All right. So I've got. I'm about to show it. Oh shoot. Hang on. Let me make sure I transition this right. Just want a quick fade. Oh no, it didn't do it. Ah crap. Playing the whole video from earlier. Learning as we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, if you're listening, you are hearing, or you
There.
heard the audio from the intro video. All right, but now you see. Let me get rid of. We don't need the scroll bar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna transition it right this time. There we go. All right, so there's the
Nice.
website right there. So you can see from the website, for those that are actually watching the video, there is the sign up for the Race Across Tennessee for $60, and we'll come back to that price point in a second. And then there's also an additional doggy run across Tennessee for animal shelters for $30.
That's awesome.
If I click that,
You
well, I'm
cannot
not.
register
Oh no, my
yourself for
address
the
is on
dog.
there. People see my address now. So what is? Where's the details? I want to know what happens. What do they get?
The dogs or the people?
Yeah, is there a place that tells? All right, FAQs. Let's look.
So we're supposed to be getting shirts and buckles,
So
apparently.
as a person, you were supposed to start
Right.
on. Hang
May
on.
1st.
Let me make this look even better. We're gonna give this a nope, not that one. This probably won't get cut out of the audio, and I apologize. But for video listeners, this is a nice thing. Oh, okay. Uh, apologies. Just trying to give a quick drop shout out. Where the crap is it? All right, never mind. I can't find it. Okay. So there's something I wanted to ask about this. Oh, so it started on May 1st, and if
Hmm.
you do a certain mileage every day, it's supposed to
Hmm.
equal out to the same amount, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it averages out to about like 5.5 miles a day.
Okay. And which
So,
is in turn why you said you are
yeah.
behind.
Right.
All right. So
Right.
talk about that a little more.
Yeah, so I think I've done a little over maybe 30, 35 miles this month so far. Um, so I should be around 55-ish, if not more, right now, being the 11th of May.
You should
So
be,
yeah, I should be at least 55 miles for the month,
but
right? Yeah.
but
But since I haven't been consistently running every day, um,
uh, you froze up, but you're probably gonna come back in just a second.
like,
There you go. All right. So
yeah.
sorry, you froze up. Keep explaining why you are behind. You froze up again. No, tell us. I want to know.
Huh? Did it freeze up?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Now it's you just keep on freezing up. Now the audio listeners are real sad.
Yeah.
All right, so you're back. Tell us why you are behind. No, this isn't gonna happen. I think she's faking it. That she's not. She just doesn't want to talk about why she's behind, but she really is.
Because I'm terrible. I'm a terrible, terrible person who can't get their crap together. No, yeah, I think after that David Goggins challenge, I was like, and running the same routes, I was like over over my usual routes. And yeah, I just need to go out there and explore a little bit more. But like people have been flooding the open spaces and the trails. So
Oh yeah. Well, all right.
yeah,
So
it's
think about it. So the thought is 5.5 miles a day
yeah,
until September 1st.
yeah.
You know, the way I've been training, it's like 5 miles on Tuesday, 5 miles on
Hmm.
Thursday, maybe 10 to 15 on Saturday.
Yeah,
That still doesn't cover it. Like,
yeah,
that's a pretty good mileage a
yeah.
week.
Right. That's,
That's 30,
I
40,
mean, yeah,
40, no, sorry, 35 miles a week.
yeah. Which is, I mean, it's totally doable. It's totally doable for with as much as
Well,
I run too,
and
or I used to
yes,
run. Yeah,
for ultra runners, it's not a big deal. But for
yeah,
people who are think about how many people, so we have not mentioned that yet. How many people have signed up for this thing? It
yeah. There's a
started out
lot.
It started out very quickly, like, oh, we introduced this, and then 6,000 people signed up when we thought
Exactly.
1,000 maybe.
Right. You're right.
6,000 people at
Right.
6,000 at $60 a piece.
Yeah.
So that's a big chunk of change right
Yeah.
there. And then last I checked, which was like only a couple days ago,
Hmm.
18,000 people had
Yeah.
signed up.
Yeah.
18,000 people is over $1 million easily.
Right. Well, how many
So
of those
obviously,
signups are dogs, though?
I don't know.
Like a
Well,
thousand, maybe? I don't know.
what I looked at was only runners, I think. So maybe there's even
Yeah.
more. But
Well, and it's run walk, so whatever.
right, obviously you don't have to
Yeah.
run the whole thing. You can walk as much as you want. It's a amount of mileage.
Yeah.
But that many people, he's bringing in that much money. Obviously some of it's going towards shirts and medals and the swag, and
Hmm.
then he's also donating to,
Feeding
what is it?
America, I think.
Feeding America, which
Hmm.
is, do you know more about that than I do?
I think that's a program to feed like
Maybe fight
under
homelessness or something.
yeah, underprivileged kids. Um yeah.
All right, so I still have the web page pulled up here, and I was trying to look into it because that's cool, that's awesome. It's like, dude is probably making more money than he may have ever made in his life, possibly, but he's given away some of that to this donation
Yeah.
charity. Um, I just I just wish I could find more information about it on the website, and I'm having a hard
Yeah.
time. So I wish they would, if you're given to a charity, selfishly make a bigger deal about it so that it's
Yeah.
easier for people to find.
Transparency is everything.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
also, if you've ever seen the documentary of the Barkley marathons, like you know how Laz is, I guess.
yes, yes,
Like he's like so not high tech, like just
right.
yeah.
But he's obviously hiring some people to do this website and the whole
Right.
tracking and all that stuff for him, which is very cool. It's all very, very cool. I just
Yeah.
I do wish it was on there so that I, like, as a information source, which we're
Yeah.
not news media, but we're still trying to find it. But
Right.
I want to tout, I want to spout how he's donating this money, but I can't find it. I can't find the information. That's the part that
Yeah.
makes me sad. But otherwise, really cool, really awesome that's happening, and you are doing it, which is awesome.
Yes. So there's also another thing I'm doing that started today, actually, that I'm hoping is going to help me get my butt in gear and maybe like break up the monotony of my runs. And if you remember a while back, I was on the Diz Runs podcast with Denny
Yep.
Cray. And so I joined his Facebook group and everything. And, I've been listening to his podcast as well. And on his Facebook group, he started this Diz photo hunt
Hmm.
because he has this accountability thing where whenever he goes out for a run, he takes a picture of something that catches his eye
Oh.
and he hashtags it with "seen on my
Oh,
run."
nice.
And so he decided to start like this scavenger hunt. So he like emailed out a bunch of random things, like a random toilet out in public, and you just like snap a picture of it and like post it on social media with his little hashtags or
Okay.
whatever. And then it's gonna go from like May 11th to May 25th, and he's just gonna like pick five winners at random.
Hmm. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I figure that's something kind of different,
So
maybe.
you'll be out looking for the scavenger hunt stuff while you're doing your 1,000 miles.
Right. Exactly.
That is one interesting thing about this 4 month, 1,000 kilometer race, that
Yeah.
there's nothing that says you can't do another race while you're doing this. Like, you can
Correct.
do
Yeah.
other races in the meantime. Case
Yeah.
in point, on May 30th is the second Ultravirus 12-hour race. The mileage you bank on that day can count towards your 1,000 kilometers on the Laz race. Is there a name for it? Thousand. What's the name for the race? I think you froze.
That's crazy. Yeah, I froze.
What's the name of the 1,000 kilometer race?
The Great Virtual Race Across Tennessee.
Okay. The Great
Yeah.
Virtual Race Across Tennessee. So if
Yeah.
you are banking mileages during other virtual races, they go towards your race towards Tennessee. Race across
Yeah.
Tennessee. Great American Race Across Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of people are doubling up that Yeti Ultra 24-hour challenge and then doing this
Yeah.
at the same time too that Mark did. So yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, that's kind of genius. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you're. It's not just like a run this little mileage and be done with it. It's like you've got all this time. Just go do it
Right.
and
Exactly.
go do it. And if you get there, cool. If you don't, we'll probably send you the stuff anyway because you signed up, I guess. And
I don't know.
I don't know that part of it, but
I don't know.
so all right. So we started this conversation talking about what you were up to,
Yeah.
and you're saying you're behind on that.
So what am
What?
I up to? I'm sucking right now.
Well, all right. So let's go
No.
back to
Okay.
the Josh Scoggins,
Oh, David Goggins. Yeah.
Davins.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Josh Scoggins is a the original singer from Norma Jean. If anybody listened to me on I'm a Spartan podcast, I talked about Norma Jean, and he's the original singer from that band. Anyway, David Scoggins.
David Goggins.
David Goggins, not Josh Scoggins. David Goggins. his his race you did, which was
Yeah.
a 4 miles
Every 4 hours for
4
48
hours
hours. Yeah.
for 40,
So whenever
48 hours.
he originally put out the challenge as like a 48-hour challenge, which he was intending to run all 48 hours of it, or run every 4 hours. But he
Hmm.
also said that one of the things you could do was you can run it, you can bike it, you can walk it, you can ruck it, you can row it if you if you
Row
want.
it. Wow.
Yeah, but he just wanted, the point was to be doing something active for at least an hour every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Okay.
And a lot of people just ran the 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, which I didn't think it was going to be as difficult as it was. The mileage wasn't difficult, but like mentally it was a challenge. I could see
Well,
why it was a challenge.
it's not coming and stopping for a 20-minute pit.
Right.
It's stopping for 2 hours, 3 hours. You frozen. And it keeps freezing. So I'm just gonna sit here and stare at her frozen face until she comes back. And I go find a better signal. Please come back to us. She's gone. She is gone. No, there she is. She's back.
I'm here. I'm here.
Huh? Oh,
I
she's
don't
here.
know why it keeps freezing. Yeah.
What part of the house are you in? Because you have frozen up again. Right now. You're literally frozen, staring. Well, there you are. Oh,
Oh,
technology.
technology.
Well, all right. So you recently got Wi-Fi in your place,
Yeah. Overpriced Wi-Fi. Yeah.
but where are you at versus where the modem is?
I'm like right next to the building that has the.
Next to the building. That means you're
Yeah,
like in a
they had to come and run the lines and everything.
to a different
It's
building,
like,
not in your house.
no, because yeah, no. Yeah, we
Okay.
put it in the permanent building. In the
All right.
permanent
So
building next to the house.
I think you might be too far away from it.
I might be, but it's like it's business Wi-Fi. Like I don't it's an
Business
obscene
Wi-Fi
it's an obscene amount
sometimes.
that we pay for it. That we pay for it.
No, I definitely understand that. Business Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
they overcharge
definitely.
for the same speeds.
Yeah.
Because I think because of the way, and Josh Chase could probably answer this better.
Oh, probably.
I think that they do that because they expect more people to be on it. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a total of more bandwidth, but
Yeah.
really you get the same speeds as you would at
Right.
home. It's
Right.
baloney. It's
It
baloney.
is.
They're
Yeah.
lying to you.
The amount that we pay for it, I could be paying rent.
Oh my God.
It's an obscene amount, I'm telling you.
All
But
right.
anyway.
Okay. So you're frozen. You're not frozen now.
Yeah.
Josh, not Josh. David Goggins,
David Goggins.
his race,
Mm-hmm.
and
His
you
48-hour
did it.
challenge. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
That was an experience. So like I said, the mileage is not difficult. It's the sitting and waiting for your
Right.
next
So, so
round
how
or
long
whatever.
did your 4 miles take you?
It would take me anywhere from like 40 to, I think towards the end it was like more like 56 minutes.
Okay.
Because
So still
there was,
an
yeah,
hour every 4 hours.
yeah, yeah,
So you had 3 hours to spare every
yeah,
time.
yeah. I always had at least like a little over 3 hours to rest and recover,
That
hydrate,
that's the
refuel.
that seems like the hardest part though. Like I've gone out and put a pretty good effort in, and
Yeah,
now I get to rest, and
yeah.
then I got to get back up.
That was the challenge. That was the hardest part,
Yeah.
especially whenever, because I started at like 10 a.m. or 6, 8. I can't remember what time I started. But like waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning was not ideal.
I can imagine.
It was not ideal. And so the road that we live on, it's one of the roads that leads up to one of the trailheads, and all the trailheads close technically at sundown. So it's not like I could go run on the trail. uh, but at 10 o'clock, there was still people coming down from the trailhead that like I felt safer running at 2 o'clock in the morning on our road versus at 10 p.m.
Wait, so they were
because
coming down from the trailhead that had closed at what time?
at like 7 or 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the sun doesn't go down out here until like maybe 7:45
Do you
or
think that
so.
meant that they got on the trail past closing time?
Probably so. Maybe I should have just gotten on the trail.
Cheating? Were they going illegally?
Probably so.
Well, good job upholding the law, Anna. All right. So you did that, and you did it for
Yeah.
48 hours, which is
Yeah.
pretty nuts. It's not even like a 24-hour thing. It's not even like I'm doing it for a day and I'm done, which we've done
Yeah.
for World's Toughest multiple times.
Yeah.
You did it for 48 hours, and it's
Yes.
like every dang 4 hours I got to get up and go run.
Yeah. I was bound and determined to finish it because the day that he put out the challenge on Facebook, I intended to start that day, but then I went out for my second run and I don't know if I had eaten something from my cafeteria at work that did not agree with my stomach, but I had to go home early from work
So,
that day.
so are you saying you started it
I
late?
had
Like you
I had
started it and then you restarted it?
yeah, I had started it on a different day,
Oh wow.
and then yeah, I had stomach issues. So I'm like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Oh man.
So I waited for another stretch that I had off of work, and I started like that morning.
Okay. That is interesting. Like talking about virtual race wise, that
Yeah.
virtual races for the most part, not all of them, but for the most part, it is kind of open to
Yeah.
the span of time. Run it
Right.
whenever you want.
Yeah.
So what you're saying lines up perfectly with that. Like you started it and then you're like, nope, this ain't working out. Let me try again
Yeah.
on a different time frame,
Yeah.
and you did that. That's one of the big. I just saw a article from Mud Run Guide talking about does the COVID and the quarantine changing the race landscape and virtual races, and what you're saying is it really does. Like you had one of the things about racing is like you get up, it's race day, and you go
Right.
and if you prepared, great, and if you didn't, then that's too bad. It's race day. You gotta
Yeah.
go.
Right.
But this one,
Yeah.
you ran and you said, nope,
Yeah.
I had got issues. I'm gonna restart.
Yep.
That's that's crazy. That's very interesting. It's cool. Like, I mean, if you're going after, let's say you're gonna do a mile time trial, and
Right.
you get out there on the track and you're like, I'm ready to go, and then you start going, and then a lap in, you're like, hey, I don't feel good. And then you stop and you go the
Yeah.
next day and you do the best lap of your life.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same thing.
Right. Which, if you've been listening to Bracken and Kirk's podcast, they talk about like the accountability part of their time trials, like because to where like they'll tell one another, okay, I'm this weekend I'm hitting my 5K time trial, so that
Yeah.
so that you have it's out there in the world.
Yep.
You can't back off. You can't back down. There's but the 48-hour thing, like it wasn't so much a race as it was like just a challenge that he put out to everybody. But at the same time, like I didn't tell too many people about it only because like I didn't want to make it about that, if that makes any
Okay.
sense.
Yep.
Like I didn't want to
Sure.
make it about that. I wanted it to be like me telling myself, you have to get out there. You haven't told anybody, so you can just quit anytime, you know. But you're gonna know that you didn't finish it.
Yeah.
you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, there's different ways to go about the whole accountability thing. Like sometimes that works for me, and sometimes I'd rather just like suffer in silence.
I kind of akin it to just training in general. Like, so
Yeah.
there are days when you're like, I planned on training this day,
Hmm.
but I went out and I just didn't feel it.
Yeah.
And then there are other days where it's like, I've lined up this day and I planned it with friends, and they're going to come out and meet me, and we're going to do this
Hmm.
mileage, and that helps you get up on time. That helps you, like, not eat or drink too much the night before. Like, I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
It mentally, there is a lot that goes into saying to somebody else, "Hey, I'm doing this at this time."
Yeah.
And when you sign up for a race, like that's part of it. Like you've
Yeah.
got that time frame, and then as you're saying, Kurt and uh, I'm blanking.
What's that?
Bald headed man looks like me. Uh,
Bald head.
Kirk's cohort. God dang it. No.
I'm Bracken.
Bracken. I've been drinking.
You've been drinking too much.
I'm sorry, Bracken. I've met you once in person. You probably wouldn't remember my face, but I apologize. Um,
Right.
so, like they're saying, there is something to that. There is something to that having a what'd you call it?
Accountability partner.
Accountability partner.
Yeah.
If you said it, somebody is going to say,
Hmm.
hey, did you do that? And that makes a big difference. Even if they don't
Yeah.
ask, even if you post it on Facebook and nobody ever asks you, if you posted it,
Right.
you know that
It's
somebody
out
saw
there.
it.
It's out there. Yeah. And it's
That's
interesting you say that because I mean, that's how I got into running in the first place. Like I started, it was definitely like a weight loss thing because, after I had kids and everything. But then it was like, okay, but what am I working towards? I need something to work towards. So that's whenever I signed up for my first 10K race,
yeah.
was because like at the time 10K was like the furthest I would have ever gone running, so that's what drove me to like want to run every day and want to train for it and everything. So,
hmm
you know,
Well, I
yeah.
keep telling people if OCR didn't happen, I don't know if I would have kept working out after I lost weight.
Yeah.
I just don't think I could have just kept going to the gym. I don't
Yeah.
see it happening.
Yeah. Well, and it's training for OCR is so different than like training for maybe like just swimming or just one sport in particular because it really does take from a lot of different muscle groups and different abilities and skills that you just have to be ready
Yeah,
for anything.
I definitely agree. I find myself feeling like I've got upper body down fairly well,
Yeah.
so it makes me want to not like work hard at that because it's like I don't want to go outside and do pull-ups for 30 minutes. That's lame. I'll go run and make it easy. That's so I get that. Like I want to go do the easy part, and it takes
Right.
stuff like this to make you say no. I need to focus on my weaknesses and
Yeah.
go do those things because those are the
Yeah.
parts that you need to work on. And any
Yeah.
any pro who focuses on winning the race and they say to themselves, "I'm going to this race. I'm going to this event. This is what it's like. Maybe it's muddy, maybe it's hilly, maybe it is flat. What are my strengths? I don't need to
Hmm.
focus on that. I need to focus on the part that I don't do well at. If it's
Yeah.
flat, fast running, I need to go out and
Yeah.
bang out some 5Ks. If it's
Right.
hilly, I need to go hit some hills. If
Yeah.
I'm just not good at obstacles yet and I'm super fast, then that's what I got to work on is working on
Right.
obstacles.
Right.
So, man, it's so true. Like you got to work on your weaknesses or you're not going to get
Yeah.
better at OCR.
Definitely. And they made that point as well on their past episodes about training your weaknesses during this time whenever like we don't really have any. It's like an um extended off season. I
Right.
guess you
Yeah.
could say. Yeah. It's like an extended off season, right? So like train to your weaknesses and make your weaknesses your strengths.
Yeah.
Which totally makes sense. It's just not ever fun to train your weaknesses because you suck at them
It's not
at
fun. It's not
first.
fun at all.
It's not fun at all. It's like I feel like too I'm still getting used to the altitude out here even though I've almost been here for almost a year. Like it's taken me a while, and like I think that's my mental block whenever it comes to running out here, was because I was so used to the times that I was putting down whenever I lived in Louisiana, that like I go for like a 7-8 mile run, and if it takes me more than an hour, I'm upset with myself because I'm like, that's crap. you know like so like, but then my 8 mile run that took me 2 hours the other day, well, I had like over 2,000 feet of elevation in that 8 mile run.
Yeah.
So I have to be kinder to myself, but that's also like something mentally that I'm trying to overcome, is that like, yeah, I'm not I mean, I grew up in Texas and then I moved to Louisiana and now I'm here in Colorado. So it's like my legs are not used to all the climbing yet. So it's just something I have to do.
Yeah. And I might have to send this to I can't remember his name. Bracken. You see this? This is a pint glass that did not
That's
have
empty.
it did not have cider in it. You want to know what was in it?
Not cider.
It was champagne.
Good Lord. A pint glass of champagne.
That wasn't the first one. Oh, speaking of which,
Clearly.
so yes, I'm gonna send this to Bracken and tell him, hey, I don't know what I said and what I'm asking you, but look at it and see what you think. But I am on vacation right now. I looked at the first 4 months of the year. I would have had this many vacation days already, and I
Yeah.
didn't take those because of all this. I didn't take any race trips, which I would have taken already. So I'm gonna take some vacation days. I just, let me just take
Hence
the
the
week
day
off.
drinking.
Yeah. Well, what else do you do on vacation? If I was in Mexico, what do you think I'd be doing?
I'm pretty sure lots of other people have done their fair share of day drinking, myself included. So
Well,
it's
my
okay.
vacation has been equal parts day drinking, equal parts teaching and taking care of kids while my
Oh,
wife
that's
works,
funny.
and it's 5:30 our time, and I've got headphones in, so I haven't heard anything. I promise you, she is doing an amazing job of getting them dinner and taking care of things where she has worked nonstop all day and worked
Yeah.
very hard and been super awesome. So
Yeah.
we've been doing
April's
that
super mom.
together with 2 kids at home. And now today I've taken over, like, let me make sure that they're like doing schoolwork and taking naps as young kids need and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, man, it's crazy times. Crazy times. And we have been doing this for an hour right now. An hour.
Nice.
And
One
we
thing I
haven't
would not
gotten to
recommend is like to do like hill repeats tomorrow. You might want to skip hill repeats tomorrow.
me
Yeah.
because of
Because of the day drinking.
this.
Yeah.
Do you know what Bulmers is?
I can't even see it. Is that a cider?
Bulmers is a Irish cider, and
Mm-hmm.
the company started as Bulmers in Ireland, and then as it went worldwide and got bought out, they turned they became Magners. So if you ever see Magners in a bar, you might see the same logo, but it's the same company, and this was the original name. So when you go to Ireland and you buy it, it's still called Bulmers, still called the original name. Whereas you get it anywhere else in the world, and it's called Magners. So when me and April were in Ireland for
What?
our wedding and honeymoon, we drank Bulmers the entire time.
Jason Dupree with the beer knowledge.
Cider knowledge.
Cider knowledge, excuse me.
I drank, all right, that night. So
I think you may have told this story about whenever you and April got married. Is that what you were about to talk about?
yeah,
Yeah.
where I felt fine and she needed
Yeah.
help getting back to the we stayed at an Airbnb. Well, no, not an Airbnb. We stayed at a B&B. She needed help getting back to the B&B, and she was fine, and somehow I threw up that night. I don't know. I I got her home fine, and then I was the one that was sick. I don't know what the heck happened from that.
You held it together just long enough to get
Until she was
your
good.
new bride.
Yep,
Yeah, to
that's
get your
right.
new bride back safely.
That's right. Took care of her, and then I let myself go. So we have talked for an hour, and we have not talked about anything on our topic
On our
list.
notes.
But all of it is surrounding our overall topic here, everything we've talked about so
Yeah.
far. So how much time you got?
I'm open.
Okay. So let's go. Let's go. Let's start this episode.
Let's do
An
this.
hour in.
Episode starts now.
I'm not refilling that glass. First off, we need to do a giveaway. It's been too long.
Oh, it has been.
We got to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
Everybody's in quarantine right now. Everybody's not. There's no races to go to. We want to give away. We've got some monies. We've got enough monies to give away at least 2 things, if not more.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure right now, like, it's getting warm right now.
Yeah.
So in our OCR talk spread shop site, there's like tank tops. So I think a tank top would be a good giveaway right now. Get a tank top, be warm, be cool, same time somehow. And so how do we want to give that away? We could just be nice and say, look, if you're going to sign up for the Ultra 12-hour OCR on May 30th, the ORM Ultra.
Ultravirus.
Yeah.
Race.
Yeah.
Part 2.
If you post something during that time frame, it's only May 11th.
It is.
I'm pretty sure we won't record in again before then. So you got some time to plan this out.
Yeah. Right.
But
got some time.
I'm gonna make it simple while giving something to another patron in the industry, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Help out Matt, go join up for the OCR. No, not OCR.
ORM.
I'm ruining this pitch. Sign up for the Ultravirus 12-hour race. Post a Instagram post. If you do it anywhere else, you're done. You're out. I don't know, whatever. Make it simple. Post on Instagram and tag us. Like, you're doing the Ultravirus race, just tag us. You don't have to say anything about OCR talk. Just tag us.
Mm-hmm.
God, it sounds so cheesy. I can't do it, Anna. I'm doing it, but I gotta point out how I don't want to do it.
Jason hates Instagram.
I don't like Instagram, and I don't like tagging people for unnecessary reasons. But
right.
It's what gets the post.
That's how we know. That's how we know that you're trying to enter our giveaway. If you sign up for ORM's Ultravirus 12-hour race coming up on May 30th, tag us in your post. It can be on Instagram or Facebook, Jason.
Okay, on Facebook.
Because
just tag us.
Yeah, just tag us. Don't put it in your stories because it goes away after 24 hours.
That's true.
Tag us in your post, and then we'll get a little notification that we've been tagged in your post, and we'll see it, and yeah.
You will be entered into the giveaway for a OCR talk, something warm, something light and warm, a tank top.
A tank top.
We don't deserve any entries at this point. I tell you who's gonna enter, and she's probably gonna win because she'll be the only one. You know what I'm talking about?
Charlotte.
I don't think Charlotte ran the.
Or did she run it?
I don't know if Charlotte
Sophia did.
Sophia, who's
did.
I'm thinking about.
That was gonna be my next guess. And I'm not even on the Discord anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Competition between Charlotte and Sophia.
Oh, this episode has gone off the rails. Off the rails.
So that is bullet 1 in our topics.
So much for show notes.
Oh, because of all this, the beauty that you see and all this, next time when we do the giveaway, when we have the actual, like, we're giving this away, we're gonna have a wheel on the screen so that everybody can see it go. You know.
So now not only Jason can see it.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody will get to see it and know that it's real and I didn't just make it up.
Yeah.
So tune in to the next one. Cliffhanger. Dun dun dun. Let's get on to real topics here.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening at this point. A minute 7.
A minute 7.
When all of this started, Spartan released an unbreakable pass, an open race pass. Basically, buy the pass, and it just gives you a code. That's all it does. It gives you a code, so when you register for a race later on, you've got the code to say, I already paid for this.
Mm-hmm. But you still have to pay insurance, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably so.
I don't know. Sorry. No, seriously, that's a good question. Do you still have to pay insurance? I'm not 100% sure. I know I've bought a code like that from Tough Mudder in the past, where they had you buy the pass now, and then when you register for it, it's like that's it. That covers all of it.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the case for Spartan. I just don't know for sure. But I thought it was interesting to see that, to think Tough Mudder has done this in the past, just in like regular season. Like they only sold it for a limited time, but it's like buy a pass, and when you're ready and you see the race you want, sign up for it, but you've already paid for it. So you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about like extra fees because you waited longer. Like you bought it early, so you get that perk. You just didn't know what race you wanted to go to, so now use that. So as soon as the COVID whatever started, Spartan started that with an unbreakable pass, and I thought it was interesting to see like that's something that Tough Mudder did before, and even more importantly, I thought Toughest from Europe, who we talk about a
Hmm.
lot because I love that race series. I really like what they've done. They're just Europe, so we don't hear about them enough. But
Hmm.
Toughest, when COVID all started and races started shutting down, they were sending out emails saying, if you, not, I don't want to say begging, but like saying, if you support us and you want to keep supporting us, go ahead and sign up for a race.
Hmm.
I wish they would have done this type of open pass because it doesn't make sense right now. Like even now
Yeah.
to say I'm going to sign up for a race in October.
Yeah. We just don't know when everything's going to open up, what travel is going to look like, what
Exactly.
the races are going to look like, like, I don't know.
It's really hard. Like all the races I signed up prior to February, like
Yeah.
okay, I signed up for those. I'm gonna hold those and see what happens because they're all in
Yeah.
the ones that are still possibly gonna happen in August, October, maybe November, maybe December. Like, but we don't know. We really don't know right
Right.
now. We don't know.
Yeah.
So asking people, especially when I saw this email maybe a month ago, asking people to sign up for a race, I felt like they really could have taken advantage of sign up for a pass and use it whenever you're ready. But
Hmm.
I don't think they've done that. So
Hmm.
nobody, if anybody from Toughest listens to this, change your marketing. But nobody does. So whatever. But no, I thought that's something maybe they didn't think about it. Whatever. That would have been a good solution
Yeah.
though. All of this, obviously, so many race companies, people have paid and signed up for so much season passes, uh, trifecta passes for Spartan, so many different things that people have signed up for that aren't panning out or making it harder to pan out. So,
Hmm.
simple things like maybe a trifecta pass will be for 2020 and 2021. Like little things like that,
I would hope so.
like just to make it easier to the thing you signed up for, the reason you gave us your money, we're gonna make that a little
Hmm.
easier for you. Um,
Be a little bit more flexible. I think a lot of race companies are going to have to be like
yeah,
that. Um, like the half marathon series that I signed up for here. Like the next one, obviously the spring one didn't happen because it was in April. Next one's in July. I don't know if that's going to happen. So like, um, yeah, offering the virtual option for this time around, or like being able to defer someone's entry to next year. Like I think a lot of race companies are going to have to be a lot more flexible with stuff like that.
and a lot of race companies have deferred to the virtual option as well as you're free, not a charge, but you're free to defer to another time frame, another
Yeah.
2021 or something later this year,
Right.
because we're used to if you're going to change your date of your race, you have to pay a little extra
Hmm.
fee. But they've cut all those
Yeah.
fees out at this point.
I need to.
All right, go ahead. It makes me
I need to,
wonder
I need to
how
turn off my.
how that's fine.
Oh shit.
Oh, now we're seeing the Skype logo. That's fine.
Oh, the ugly Skype logo.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I mean, Skype earns our logo to be on our screen for now.
It's
Um,
free advertising for Skype.
that's true. But to think these companies, how much money do you think they actually like? What is the transfer fee? Um, income versus how much they make from entries themselves versus merch. Like, that's a number I don't think anybody has ever talked about on air. How much extra money do they get for deferring races? So think, if a company has sold a race and they've said you paid for that race and that's it. If you don't show up, you don't get to run. Versus you decided not to run for whatever reason, so we're going to offer you a different time, but you got to pay an extra fee to defer it to that time. So that extra income versus a little bit of customer relations saying, we understand that you couldn't make it for these reasons, so now we're going to
Mm-hmm.
offer you to transfer to a different race for this little price. Nobody's ever really talked about how much income is that versus if a company said, um, if you register for this race but you didn't go, you lost out on that money, but you still are going to register for another race later on, or more importantly, to me, you badmouth our company. To me,
Yeah.
that's the bigger selling point for having deferment fees. Is we'll
Yeah.
offer you to go to another race. You just got to pay us a little bit,
Yeah.
and you'll be okay.
Yeah. No, well, normally most companies do charge you to defer to a later date, right?
Right, but I'm talking about if like if you didn't have that deferment option at all. Like, you signed up to come to our race on this date and you chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to come next time, you got to pay full price
Right.
versus the backlash that would cause versus a little fee, not free, but a little fee for just transferring your entry.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
think that's a little bit of back end magical genius that the media outlets have never really talked about. So,
Yeah.
what are the
Well,
companies?
and I'm sure some companies can afford to do that more than others. I think some
Sure,
people would be more willing to support a more like independently run, smaller race company that maybe, the biggest turnout they have is maybe 300 people. So, you know, I think, yeah, I think some companies are able to I guess take that negative the risk of negative press.
yeah, right. So it is that kind of seems what it is, like a risk of negative press versus a
Yeah.
risk of loss. Like, what is the negative press value versus the
Yeah.
loss of an extra registration? And
Yeah.
honestly, looking at Spartan and looking at maybe even Tough Mudder, it's
Mhm.
the cost of a registration is not nearly worth the price of positive feedback, merch store prices. Like, that's one of the things Spartan's doing right now is offering race codes for store purchases. You purchase X amount of dollars in the store, and we will
Oh
give
man.
you a free race code. Like, how crazy is
Yeah.
that? So
Yeah.
I I don't. There's a piece that I feel like I'm missing. What is a race entry worth that all these other stuff trumps it? And it's freezing up some more, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Did you catch the question that I said? She didn't. Um, so that's what I'm really interested to see is. Uh, sorry, you're back now. You stay for a long time and then you go
I
away
know.
for moments at a time.
I know. Oh,
I say you using your
my
Trex. what's the brand name? Is the brand name is Trex. She's using headphones that go over your ear, but they sit by your ear, not in your ear.
Right.
And they are great for running outdoors because you can still hear everything. And I have some
Yeah.
and I love them.
These
We
things
need to.
saved me from getting bit by a rattlesnake last summer.
Oh my goodness. We need to see if we can get them as a sponsor. Do they do sponsorships?
Probably so.
Can you find out?
I'll do the legwork on that. I'm on it. I'm all over it.
All right, so do you see what I'm saying though? Like, what is the
Yeah.
missing piece for a price of a race versus keeping a customer? Because anybody that has watched The Office knows that it is 10 times more expensive to get a new customer versus keeping an
Yeah.
existing customer.
Yeah.
Is that true? Like, is that how
I would
they
say
operate?
so. I would say so because I mean, if you think about it from a marketing perspective, or even from just like customer service in general, you know, I used to work in retail, and before that, I was waiting tables, and they would always say, you know, if one person has a bad experience, they're gonna go off and tell like 3 to 5 of their friends.
Yeah.
And that just starts like that number just starts compounding on itself, and then
Right.
more and more people start to hear negative stuff about a company, and they don't want to do business because so and so who knows their mom who said I had a bad experience.
Or I heard from somebody that place sucks. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that poor steakhouse in Arkansas.
Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
God dang it. No, I mean, obviously we had an episode where I went on about this dumb girl who gave me a poor experience at the steakhouse.
See, and now everybody who listens to our podcast has heard about it.
You know who would be able to tell me right away?
Who's that?
Sophia. I bet Sophia knows and Charlotte knows
Yeah.
because they're probably our number one fans. Um, now I want to go listen to it. That was I feel like that was an Enya episode.
It probably was before we before we stopped giving Enya airtime.
Before I stopped trying to be legit and stop stealing stuff. Now let's keep going. So race code wise, what?
We're slowly chipping away at these show notes.
I know we're trying. Um, Spartan is giving race codes, and I've actually been looking at their new craft shoes and just been really curious because I really loved the Reebok shoes that they did, except for how quickly they fell apart. I loved the Reebok shoe, the way it felt, the way it drained water, the way it ran. They were minimalist shoes, but they felt good. And they even had the Thunders, the Reebok Thunders, which weren't, I don't think, Spartan backed, but they were still like, the minimalist shoe is the Reebok, I forget the name of it. Anyway, the Thunder was like I'm going long distance. So it's very similar. It had drainage holes, but it just had more cushion. So those shoes were both great. I had multiple pairs of both of those, but they just not the Thunders because I honestly didn't use them enough, but the light version, the now I'm blanking on the name. The version of them that just didn't have much padding, the minimalist. God dang it, the minimalist version was a good shoe. Honestly, I wore those for so many different races, but they just tore up quickly. You know, I kind of fell into the same issue that like even the King MTs suffer from is just simply that the um the toe on the outside, the little toe, that area just rubs and it tears apart and you get a little hole right there. So that's the reason why I didn't like those shoes because they tore apart so quickly. They had the ones, they had 2.0s, they had the ORs, they had maybe even another one. but all of them suffered from the same issue, and they never fixed the issue. And I hear that you're back, but I don't see your video being back, so maybe you're not. Oh no, the video like cut off, and you're a sliver of a box now. I don't know what's happening. What? I see you. Oh crap! What's happening? What's happening now? Anna. Anna, can you hear me? Anna's broken. Anna's in the country. I'll keep going. So the new craft Reebok shoes are supposedly, by Joe DeCino's word, he said he wanted these shoes to be he wanted them to be bulletproof. I don't care if we lose money on them. I want these shoes to be bulletproof.
Yeah.
And I've been really curious about them. Anna, you're back, but your video has really screwed up on the broadcast. What's happening? I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can fix it real quick. Hang on. Audio listeners will be real sad at the moment because I'm doing this. Oh, what the world? What has happened? You are a sliver of a video. Whoa. Oh my goodness. It's going off the rails here.
I relocated.
Wow. This is throwing me for a loop of things that I've dealt with before. Okay. Let me do a quick fix. Ooh. And as I say that, you have issues again. You cut that out.
Can you hear my audio?
I don't know. You just have random hop-ins where you work and then.
I know.
I see you back in the kitchen there.
In my tiny kitchen. Yeah.
All right, let me give Anna a quick fix, and I'll keep talking about shoes. Shoes, and in turn.
What shoes are you wearing nowadays?
Talking about what shoes am I wearing nowadays?
Yeah, what shoes are you wearing nowadays?
All right, I might have a quick. I need to fix this. Just a second. Let me. All right, now you're back. You're a little. Got a little. Oh no! Why is that happening? Whoa. I thought Hey. Ooh. Oh, I reset you. That's why. That's my fault. That is my fault. Now you're stretch funny. Crap. Oh! Well, I did that, didn't I? No, not scale. Yeah, scale fix. Scale fits. Okay. Apologies to the audio listeners. I'm fixing Anna's video. She's about to be back in just a second. This is kind of tough because I can't zoom in. We're going to get a quick, okay, there you are. And now I got to adjust.
Yay.
Oh, that's worse. What the heck?
The adventures of live streaming.
Yeah. Well, it won't move now. What the crap? Oh, I see what's wrong. Okay, that's easier. And now you have froze up again. Okay.
This will be so much easier when I'm in, the town.
The town? When you go into the town?
Whenever in a few months, whenever we buy a house, and we're
Is there a plan for that?
Civilization.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What town? What town?
We're not sure yet. We actually found a decent lot. This house has never been lived in because I guess whoever lived in it left it to their kids, and their kids were grown and lived elsewhere. So the house needs help. But the entire lot next to it is for sale too. So
Where? What town though?
in Golden.
Oh, okay. So staying
Yeah.
in that area. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
closer
so
to like where people live.
all right, so let me try to come back to shoes. Talking
Shoes.
about shoes because Spartan is giving away not virtual, giving away race credits with their store purchases.
Yeah.
I looked at. I've been interested in the new craft shoes that they've had for a minute now, and
Mm-hmm.
really curious to see if. God dang it, your video's messed up again. Really curious to see if they are as good as the Reeboks once were, because
My Reebok always fell apart. I don't know. I don't
that's
know how you had such good luck with
no.
your Reeboks,
Well,
but
that's
my
what I'm
Reebok
saying
always
is
fell
that they
apart.
did fall apart, but I really liked them. Besides
Yeah.
how quickly they fell apart. So that's the
Yeah.
problem. And these
Right.
shoes are supposed to be built to last. Joe DeSena
Yeah.
said, "I wanted them. I want them bulletproof, even if we lose money on them."
Right.
So they offer this option: buy stuff in the store, get a race credit, and I thought that sounds like a pretty good
Why not?
chance to try the shoes. I'll buy the
Yeah.
shoes, get a sprint credit. If the Dallas Stadium actually ever happens, the AT&T Stadium, I'll use it for that. Why not?
Yeah.
So that's what I've done, and I've ordered them, and they're coming in sometime soon,
That's
maybe.
great.
So
Are
we'll
these
see.
the same shoes that like he gave a pair to Isaiah and he gave a pair to Yancey and they tested it out like in Vermont or something where he lives?
I don't
I
know.
remember
How
seeing
did their
videos
tests
of
go?
that whenever they first came out.
How did their tests go?
But pretty well from what I saw,
Hmm.
I think.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, that could be them. I mean, if it was in the past year, it probably was.
Probably so.
But
I want to say it was by Kraft, but yeah.
so yeah, I have some craft Spartan shoes on the way to try for my
Nice.
trail shoes. I am loving my Ultra Taurens, and I've got the
Mm-hmm.
4.0s now. Love them, love them. I will
You like
continue
them?
to run on those on the road, on the concrete,
Yeah.
on easy trails that don't have
Yeah.
need a lot of grip. Run them
Mhm.
on those too.
Yeah, I actually take them on. So there's a route that I do that I'm on road or pavement for over half of it, and then I circle around and I go to one of the bigger trails in the area, and I just run a section of it until it cuts down into a neighborhood, and it's like pretty hard packed. Whenever it's dry and it's not muddy or anything like that, but it's not as rocky, and it's almost like I don't know, what is it? Is it a green for mountain bikers? Is that like the easy the easy trail
Probably
lingo for
makes
mountain
sense.
bikers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like a super easy trail. So I've taken my Torrens on that trail multiple times, and I've been pretty happy with it.
Nice. Cool. Uh, I'm definitely in the market for the right ultra shoe for trail. I know King MTs are great for mud, and
Yeah,
2.0s are out. I want to try those.
yeah.
But just like standard trail, I'm still in the right shoe
Mhm.
for that. The long peaks, I felt like the sole kind of fell apart. There was something about them that didn't quite do it for me. I got hot spots. They just didn't quite do
Mhm.
it for me. So I'm still in the
Yeah.
market for a like dry trail shoe
Yeah.
for ultra.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just have to find what works for you. For me, I have not used my King MTs actually a lot. I've mostly just been using my Lone Peaks and my Superiors, but I don't use my Superiors for OCR. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I know Mark had a bad experience using those at battle, but yeah.
Your video continues to have issues, even though I thought I figured out a way to like make it to not have issues at all.
Like resize itself.
Yeah, it resizes randomly.
Just randomly.
Anyway,
I'm gonna
there it
find
goes
my
again.
laptop charger and I can get on my laptop.
Oh, nope, that doesn't do it. Oh, dang it. What? Oh, wait. Nope. No, I didn't do it. Let's see if we can ram through. God. Wow, your video is just not happy with me. Oh, it's getting worse. What is happening? Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is great.
So it just randomly changes. It just still like it's just going. It's just doing some random weird stuff.
It just has a mind of its own.
Scale to width. Let's try that instead. What? That is worse. Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Your drug safe said go home.
Yeah. Get you zoomed out here. Actually, this could work. Maybe not. Okay, here we go. No, god dang it, not that one. There we go. I'm gonna get you there in a second. You know, the hope is that I get the right setting so that it doesn't ever resize on me. And you're good to go every episode. Why is it?
This is really just good practice for you, Jason. I'm really just like letting you practice your skills.
Always.
So that
Always, every time.
whenever we are live broadcasting from a race venue.
You
somewhere.
are purposely messing stuff up so that I can get better. I appreciate that.
I am purposely.
Now you've.
I swear I'm not doing it.
Wow. You know, the funniest part about it is that when we've got 5 people on, you're the only one that it happens to.
I know.
Oh man.
Oh. Yeah.
Whoop. That someone did something. I feel like I heard a door. Somebody here? Hello? There's somebody there. Oh. All right.
They're gonna jump out of your green screen.
Your video will not stop being weird.
Glitching.
I'm really trying to. I don't know what the problem is.
Problem is, I can't find my laptop
What's the problem?
charger. My laptop charger. Whenever we do like a clean, stuff gets put places, and yeah.
All right. Well, let's keep going here. We got, talk about Spartan and all their stuff going on. They came out with a survey that's asked Spartan World Championship update email. I'm just going to ignore your video. What activities, and I got an image for this. Pull this up real quick. What activities at the 2020 World Championship do you find most exciting besides racing? So you're in Dubai. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I say Dubai? Abu Dhabi. You're
Abu
in
Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. You've traveled to go to a Spartan race, and you're thinking, what else can I do while I'm out here? What else should I do? What are my options? Which one am I most excited to do? City sightseeing, that makes sense. Shopping, cuisine, stargazing. I guess that's a thing there. I don't really know.
You see the stars
Relaxing
there?
on the beach.
I would.
Like in the desert,
No.
or this is Abu Dhabi right next to the beach? That I'm too uncultured to
They have
know?
a beach. They have a beach.
Falconry? I'm gonna go catch, like, have birds fly onto
Falconry.
my hand, I guess. Is that a normal thing for there?
Falconry. I guess it's like a normal tourist attraction.
Skydiving
I'm
and race
confused.
car driving in one. Like, that's an option. Like,
Like you skydive onto the racetrack and then you hop in the car James Bond style and you race a car. That's what that is.
if I'm interested in skydiving, I'm definitely interested in race car driving. Which, honestly, that's the one that I would pick right there. But, like, is that
That's what I was thinking.
is that something they're known
That's what
for?
I was thinking.
I don't.
If someone could teach me how to be 007, that would be
Right.
ideal.
And then the last one. Well, honestly, the first one in the list: dune buggy or camel rides. Either I gotta get somewhere,
Buggy.
and I'm gonna take a dune buggy, or I'm gonna take a camel. That's how things go in Dubai. God damn it,
Hey,
sorry, Abu Dhabi.
when in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
When in Abu Dhabi,
That
right? You gotta ride a camel.
I found that pretty comical, and it could be my lack of ever visiting Abu Dhabi or knowing anything about Abu Dhabi. But I thought it was pretty funny. So, uh, in an attempt to try and wrap this up, there have been plenty of virtual races going on. Matt at ORM has had the first Ultravirus 12-hour event, which had a pretty good turnout, and I sat for 13 hours doing a live feed for that, and we made a pretty sweet video for it after the fact.
That was a pretty sweet video.
It turned 13 hours down into about 15 minutes, which is pretty good, I think. But he's doing a second one, so it's like, just again, we're having things like to focus on. Whatever you are planning on going after, you're looking for something to focus on. This works. This helps. This is something to do with other people. It's not, all the different options out there for virtual races. Like, go do your own race, report it back to us. Some races probably don't even, the ones that we looked at before with all the different virtualrun.com. I'm sure you don't even have to report your mileage or whatever, your time or anything.
Yeah.
Right? Just you pay for it, you get the stuff. That's it. Whatever. So this is a little bit more than that. We actually have a place to meet up with people, log in, post your times. That, I think that helps. I think that it's good for what we need to that. As we talked about before, that not credibility. What do we say? What's the word? Accountability.
Yeah.
That helps. Yeah. It gives you a reason.
It does help. Yeah.
And at the same time, almost like right after Matt had that one, Spartan came out with their 24-hour virtual race, which was basically like a virtual death race.
Yeah. Like, go out and, like, pick weeds in your
do all this
or something. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I didn't catch up with it.
We've talked about how we feel about Death Race and Agogi and other similar things. I'm not a fan, personally. Yeah. I understand why people go do that to try and push their limits and whatnot, but
right.
Virtually, it just seemed like they got even weirder with the random cuts and the random
tasks.
The random task.
Yeah.
All right, now your video is getting weirder. But no, yeah, it was weird. It was weird, the things that they had people do, and
right.
I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why they went that route. If anything, some people would just say it's just Joe being Joe, which
just chalk it all up to that.
We can call those races dumb and stupid. Some people do still enjoy them, which is understandable. Right. Personally, from my perspective, if you're going to put on an event and declare a winner, a winner should have set rules, a competition. Sport. The definition of sport is that you have set rules to declare a winner. I mean, you can have
Right.
a event that does anything. Who cares?
Yeah.
Whatever. But if you're going to have a competition, make some set rules. Maybe that's the definition of death race. Maybe death race is not a competition.
There are no rules.
Death race is you don't know what death race is.
You just have to do what you're told.
So maybe that's the mindset we all need to take. Death race is not what you think death race is.
It is what you make it.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. I think a lot of people were definitely weirded out by that and how it turned out. Apparently,
Yeah,
people
I just didn't.
apparently people just started getting cut because they were men or because they couldn't stand on their hands. I don't know, weird stuff.
Or do handstands. I can't do handstands to save my life.
Yeah.
I do a handstand for more than like 3 minutes. No.
But at the same time, you've had Matt doing his thing to bring people together. Spartan try to put on their weird virtual race. Savage Anywhere, which is not a race. It really is just, look, we can't put on races, but we still want to do something to get you active and make money, of course. So go do these exercises, and that earns you medals and shirts. And that's Savage Anywhere. Cool. Go do it. I mean, Savage is a race that people love, and they're not a giant corporation, so get out there and do it. And I mean, even OCR Report has been, transforming the way they do things to do these weekly quarantine corners where they're talking to other folks in the OCR industry just to see what everybody's up to and how things are going.
Yeah. Which was super weird for me because, we don't do interviews, and I had to interview Rose Wetzel, and I was... It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I felt more like Ricky Bobby more than anything. I'm like, this is why we don't do interviews. But it was super fun talking to her. I mean, it's, I don't know. I think it's just interesting seeing what other people are up to throughout all this and, how everybody's coping.
Yeah. All right, well, last thing I'm going to throw up on the screen, and then we can call it a 2-hour day.
Mud Titan.
Titan Runs is a race brand that I've never heard of. Pretty sure it's in Florida. Everybody likes to say Florida man. Mud Titan 12, I guess I take it that's their 12th race. They're going to hold a race, and I don't remember how soon it is, but it's relatively soon. And they're saying they're going to do the race, but it's going to be only for 250 people. They're going to limit it to that small.
They're limiting.
Yeah, they're going to limit it to that small of amount of people, and they are going to have sanitizer after any obstacle that you touch. So, jump over a wall, get some... Go do some monkey bars. You remember how at the beginning of all this, Aaron Newell did his OCR around the house, and one of the obstacles was a hand washing for 20 seconds. He was like at his sink.
Right. That's what it's gonna be
he
like.
He was like counting, like I'm washed for 20 seconds.
Like doing his ABCs and everything.
Yeah. How funny.
That's what it's gonna be
How
like.
funny would that be? So, like anybody else, I think they're just trying to figure out a way to get back to business. And if that's what you got to do, I hope it works out. For those 250 people, they will probably be really excited. If I was there, I'll do it. Go ahead. Let's go. Give me some sanitizer after every dumb obstacle. Yeah.
Do it.
What?
You jump in? You jump in on it?
Sure. Why not?
Well, like we said, we don't know what races are gonna look like, right? Like who knows what's gonna. So let's try it.
Anna, your
See if it
video.
works. I'm about to turn into a little small stuff.
Yeah.
I quit.
Your video is
That's all,
getting worse
folks.
and worse. I can't fix it. That's a good spot to end, though. We're under.
That's a good note to end on.
We're under 2 hours here.
We're under the 2 hours.
Thank you for joining me today. We're gonna have this up as a podcast. It will be up as video on YouTube. We have not recorded for a bit just because, I mean, what's been going on? Everything we've been doing is with OCR report just because they're, just trying to make content and we don't care. So we have not bothered unless there's something to talk about. And also we're doing stuff for them too, so whatever. So I hope you enjoyed. We filled the space pretty good, I felt, on the screen, except for the bottom because I never brought up the ticker at the bottom with breaking news. There's no breaking news today.
There's no breaking news. Oh.
And any last thoughts? We've got, as a reminder, we've got our giveaway. When the Ultravirus 12-hour happens, run it and post something during or after about the Ultravirus. Tag us is all you got to do.
Tag
Facebook or Instagram. Tag us. And that will get you into the giveaway for the next episode where we will have a legit spinning wheel on the screen to show who wins.
Jason's so excited about that spinning wheel. He's so excited. He's not the only one that has to look at it.
I want to show it off. And that will get you, your entry to win OCR Talk tank top. We've got monies for the next one. And upcoming, when things get back to normal, we've got Mud Gear sponsor giveaways to start giving out.
Hello.
So look out for that.
Big time.
Go check out everything on the OCRreport.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for all three of those. And, we've just been continuous cranking out the content, just not here on OCR Talk because we're too busy.
Nope. Too busy.
Anna, any last thoughts, any last words?
No, I'm just excited stuff's starting to open up again.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to start going back to work, and I'm going to have my trails back, so.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up there. Take it easy. Stay safe. We lost our tag. What was it?
Yeah.
What was our end tag?
Follow, listen, and talk.
Follow, listen, and talk.
Follow, listen, and talk. That's how long it's been since we've done an episode.
That doesn't matter anymore. None of that matters. Do what you want. Who cares?
Jason's going to go continue his staycation with his cider.
That's right. My champagne.
Yeah. Or champagne. Kicking it off fancy.
See y'all tomorrow. All right. Take it easy, Anna.
All right, bye.
Bye.